Hey, what's up, y'all? I know it's been a good while, good while since I made a video, and it was pretty much, no real reason. It's pretty much just laziness on my part, to be honest, because I just got off my vacation. I had a 2-week vacation, and I just got off that a couple weeks ago. So I'm back to work, and I really just ain't been feeling it for real. And, I've been abreast of the news. Yeah, I heard about what that Shine Hassan Campbell did, and I was subscribed to that brother's channel for a really long time. But and the crazy thing is, I know I'm running on a tangent. I'm just letting y'all know that I am up to date on current events as far as what's been going on out there. Yeah, it wasn't even what he did that caused me to unsubscribe from him. It's basically is basically, yeah, y'all have to bear in mind I'm walking away from traffic, so we shouldn't be hearing it anytime soon. But it's basically what Jones did, or what was revealed about what he has done in the past, what he has said in the past, that basically made me declare that Negro is just being weird. Now, in my definition, what's a weird Negro? A pedophile and a low-key homosexual. So why would I say that? Why would I accuse Hassan Campbell of being these things, being a pedo and a low-key homosexual, despite all of this anger that he seems to have about Africa Bambaataa violating him when he was a young man? And from what I hear, he's had plenty of opportunities to get with that nigga, to do something to that nigga, and he never did. I'm like, yeah, this dude's weird. That in and of itself, that's weird, bro. That's weird. And in addition to that, it's allegations, or not even allegations, apparently confirmations of this nigga touching little kids. Him out of the horse's mouth, out of his own mouth, confessing to that shit. And then Ringo, because that's what makes Ringo so funny, because he kind of like me. He brings up receipts and invoices. He don't just tell you what you paid. He tells you what you owe. Yeah, I thought I'd show that. Y'all know I don't fuck with Christmas like that, but growing up in Babylon, I did grow up Christian, and I did grow up celebrating this pagan ass holiday called Christmas. That's probably one of the most blasphemous and probably even more satanic than Halloween itself. Goofy ass holiday. So bad as that is, I have learned, and I know that scripture. Hey, I know that scripture in the book of Jeremiah, where it says, "Follow not the way of the heathen." There's something to the effect that he goes out into the forest and cuts down a tree and brings it back and adorns it with ornaments of silver and gold. I know about that. Who would have thought Christmas would have been in the Bible, or the description thereof, anyway? But so it was that this nigga out of the horse's own mouth confessing to touching children. And it was something that he said in the past. It was some nigga that apparently he was beefing with, and he said to the dude that after I knock you out, I'ma fuck you in your butt. I'm like, okay. That's weird, bro. Who says that to the ops? If I have ops God, these people are weird, bro. So I'm walking. I'm literally on some pedestrian shit, right? I'm walking. These motherfuckers in Colorado, bro, they're weird, bro. And we gonna talk about that. That's the crux of what we talking about. Well, let me stay on Hassan's head a little bit, just a little bit more, so before we can get into the crux of this video. No, but I'm walking, right, and this motherfucker stops right where I am, and they do this shit. Like, it's like ain't nobody safe, not even the pedestrians. You'll be up here walking right up on an intersection in the neighborhood. This nigga up here, like it's like you always in the way. Like you can't seem to get out of the way. They in your way. I mean, it's like you're always bombarding with these people. The shit is weird as fuck. Cause what are the odds? Like right now. Like right now, it ain't. I'm not on the major road. I'm walking through my neighborhood. Finna go to Mickey D's. And basically fuck my cholesterol up. Yeah, cause since I've been doing the bodybuilding thing, I've noticed that, some things gotta stop. Like I've been actually, for a minute I got off the restaurant things, but lately I've been getting back on it. I'm like, nah, bro, you just gonna have to start cooking at home. So yeah, back to Hassan Campbell. He told his ops that he's gonna knock him out, which that part we ain't got no problem with. We ain't got no problem with telling the ops you gonna knock him the fuck out. But dude, what was up with the fucking him in his ass? Who does that? Who says that? That's weird. That's weird. Not to mention you confessing out of your own mouth that you was touching little kids back in the day. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't got nothing more to say. I've already wasted enough time as it is. We're already 8 minutes in this video, and I haven't even begun to discuss what I'm here to discuss. So you'll forgive me if I get on if it seems like I'm getting on another tangent, because I am. Because, like I said, I got something to say about this city, and I dare say Western society as a whole. And by Western society, I specifically mean America. And you might as well loop Canada in that motherfucker too, because them niggas, like, since I've been looking at African Diaspora Channel, like I didn't always know that, like, just how much with the shit Canada really is. I wouldn't have known it. I'm glad I fucked around and found out. I'm glad I found out, because I was actually planning on moving to Canada. I'm sure glad I didn't. Me up here, I mean, because if you think, black man, if you think you're treated like a criminal in America, just imagine being a teacher. Just imagine being an engineer. You speak French and English. You're bilingual. You have a respectable 9 to 5. You probably got your own business, and they're criminal, and you got all kinds of civil rights of yours being violated. They do that shit in Canada, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? A goofy ass police state. And then on top of that, and let's point out the hypocrisy of Canada too. So they criminalizing the black man, but they're legalizing all kinds of crazy ass drugs in certain provinces. Specifically BC, British Columbia to be exact. So if you're a person of a certain race, it's okay for you to be out there basically like strung out on fentanyl and heroin. But if you a black man working a 9 to 5, coming off your job at some chemical plant, oh, you fit the description. Man, fuck Canada. Some bullshit. Now to the crux of the video. We're finally there. So I went to the Dollar Tree today because today's resting day. I worked out yesterday, so I went to the gym to sit in the sauna for a couple hours, and I just came back. But before I went into the gym, I went to this Dollar Tree just to get some candy, just to basically like get in, buy a couple things, buy like no more than 5 items, and bone out. Because we ain't there for no theatrics. It's a dollar store, for goodness sake. You in and you out. So, bruh, explain to me how on some random ass Saturday, right, in the afternoon, explain to me how is it that here in Denver, Colorado, I just walked into some whole incident, some whole altercation between now you would think at face value you would think it would be a disgruntled customer, but if she is disgruntled, she's disgruntled for a reason, because she's being swindled, she's being cheated, as I came to find out. So between her, the cashier who tried to swindle her, the security guard, and another customer who was basically interjecting herself in the entire situation. How does that happen? How do you just randomly walk into this random ass Dollar Tree over on Monaco and Evans, you know, where there was a road rage incident that involved a shooting a couple months back, right? And you walk and you dead in the middle of it. And it ain't no more cashiers, so it ain't like you can just go to another cashier and check, you know, and pay for your stuff and bone out. You right there. And it's not like I was gonna walk out. I mean, I wanted my stuff, and I got the time. I'm off today, so I mean, yeah, I got the time. But and then to make matters worse is that the lady didn't speak English. I keep on telling y'all. See, I keep on trying to tell you hard-headed motherfuckers the importance of foreign languages. And it seems to me that y'all don't seem to understand that until you dealing with a motherfucker who can't speak your language. Why he's here, what he's here for, ain't got nothing to do with it. The fact of the matter is, they're here. You got a problem with that, write your congressman. You let, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you let them up in here. And I'm like, okay, they here. How you gonna talk to them? How are you going to describe or explain certain discrepancies, like what happened tonight or this evening, rather? Because the discrepancy was that the cashier was claiming that this customer had given her a $10 bill, but she was stating and claiming, she was like, no, in Spanish, of course, and the cashier can't speak Spanish, customer can't speak English, and I'm standing in the midst of it. And by the way, yo hablo español. Hace más de dos décadas que yo llevo hablando español. Okay, so you know, just off that, you know I speak Spanish better than the fucking Boricua. So why wasn't I going there? Because I don't work for the motherfucker. It's not my concern. That's why. I don't give a fuck. You've had, like I said, bro, the more I look at this society, and I'm going to get into that, you've had me for 20 years with Espanol alone. Hablando español mejor que los nativos, que los hablantes nativos. Why am I not helping these people? Because I don't work for them. It's not my concern. I ain't got shit to do with it. I'm there to buy groceries and fuck off. That's why I didn't interject or help. And I'm going to get into that attitude that I have and how a lot of men are carrying that attitude when it comes to this goofy ass society. Anyway, let's continue. So I'm going to try to finish this up before I get to McDonald's because I'm kind of getting close. Got a good minute, but try to. Then of course I'm gonna cut off and then we'll go to part 2. So I'm gonna let me go ahead and finish up so that when we get to part 2, we can just go right. I can just go right into my opinions about what's going on with society as a whole. So okay, so I just explained the discrepancy. Cashier claims. Cashier saying she gave her a $10 bill. The customer saying can't speak a word of English, saying no, I gave you a $20 bill. And you had this so luckily for them, they did have a bilingual security guard who was translating for them, and it kind of spun off into this sticky situation because the cashier was like, no, I'm not finna give you your change back. And I'm here to tell you, bro, that's how you get shot. It's too, with inflation on the rise, and she had a son too, so she's basically a mother. Folks ain't got time to look at this goofy ass nigga. Now, mind you, you see this right here, right? You see that right there? I got the right of way, and this goofball ass. That's what I mean. That's what I mean when I talk about these people, bro. And like I said, the streets are. But it's like anytime that's what I'm saying. You, even as a pedestrian in this town, you ain't safe. Goofy shit like that, like shit that I don't even have to go looking for. It find you, as far as evidence. But and so there was this so in between that, right, there was this Russian woman, and I know she was Russian. She wasn't speaking Russian. Yes, she was speaking English, but I could tell by her accent she's Russian. It's a whole bunch of Russian people here, unless by some happenstance she's Ukrainian. Not likely, right? Even with all the influx of Ukrainian immigrants, and that might be a problem. I'm surprised ain't nothing popped off like that, because you got all these influx of Ukrainian immigrants coming to a place where you already have Russian communities. That could be a problem. I'm just saying, that could be a problem. So far it hasn't been, because from what I can tell, the Russians that are here, they ain't fucking with Putin like that. They don't fuck with him like that. They're like, fuck that nigga. They're in solidarity with Ukraine, with their Ukrainian brothers and sisters. They think the war is fucked up. So she was basically taken up for her. She was like, do you can't speak a word of Spanish. She can't. And the security guard was basically trying to get this Russian lady who was at the checkout. She was making her purchases too, to not interject in what they had going on. But the Russian lady recognized what was going on. The Russian lady saw that you have this lady who's probably ain't got a whole lot of cash like all of us don't. And she was like, in broken English, she was going, I help. No, there's no problem. I help. I woman, she woman. We're all human beings. And human being is all we're going to be. We live, we die. So it was nothing for her. It's like she was offering to help, like, because she saw how the American system basically was screwing her over. She was more abreast of the situation than the Hispanic lady was, because the Hispanic lady has probably never seen nothing goofed up like that, even in her own home country, which most likely was probably Venezuela. 9 times out of 10. I mean, that's a fool's assumption that she's probably Venezuelan, because I've seen the influx of Venezuelan immigrants. And Colorado already had a whole gang of Mexicans here. So they dealing with, you got a whole another set of Latinos coming over here who really don't know this country like we know it. Like, other groups of Latinos like Mexicans know it. Like, they don't know this place like we know it. They really don't. And then it's funny because I'm walking right past this Dollar Tree, not the one that I went to though, not the one where the incident happened. See, I'm at Mickey D's. Yeah, let me say this before they mess around and close, so that, like I said, we can proceed on part 2. So she sees what's going on. She sees how she's getting screwed over, and she's basically being a good Samaritan. She's being a good Samaritan because cashier saying, "No, I gave you $10. I ain't trying to give you no money back, because it ain't no money to give you back. You gave me $10. What's her name saying, the Hispanic customer is saying, in Spanish of course, "No, I gave you $20. I want my money back. I mean, I want my change back, rather." Hey audience, how would you feel if you went somewhere and you paid for something that was around $9-10, and instead of you getting your change back, the cashier is accusing you of giving him or her a $10 bill instead of a $20 bill? And that's change that you was planning on using for gas, food, something to get for your kid. How would you feel? And that's where this Russian lady was coming from, because she was pretty she wasn't just shouting at the mouth or nothing, but she was pretty vocal about it. And I popped my collar off to that lady, because I'm gonna tell y'all something that happened to me in a minute. And I was like, with me studying Russian, whenever I see an old lady like that and she speaks Russian, I just call them babushka, which means grandmother. I think it's supposed to be, I hear tell that it can be used inappropriately, kind of like auntie in, Hindu culture. Like, it's not the word, it's the connotation, but babushka does mean grandmother in Russian, so there's nothing vulgar about it. It's just, from a slang standpoint, it's vulgar, just like I said, with the whole dynamic, the whole deal when you're dealing with Hindu culture. Like, you have what we call MILFs. Over there they call them aunties. But so something happened after that where she's basically trying to talk to the cashier. She's like, and this goofy ass nigga, this nigga was just looking at me, bro. Just looking at me. These people are nosy, bro. Don't stay in their lane. I'm like, literally, stay in your lane before it's gonna be a wreck. Could have fucked around and crashed into someone. Dude was just like driving off, head turned to the side, looking at my ass while the car moving. I'm like, bro, Whatever I got going on ain't got shit to do with you nosy ass Colorado nigga. I'm about to get up in this McDonald's and get something to eat and step. But like I said, I wanted to give y'all the overview of what went on before, you know, I make off with my food, and then we'll discuss the remainder of all that. Because I got an earful, not just of what happened here, but you know, that was just an example of what goes on the daily out here, and what's going on here, and I dare say what's going on in Western society as a whole. Anyway, so she's asking. I can't even really say that she's debating or arguing with the cashier. She's asking the cashier, well, can I give, I mean, what's wrong? Because she was trying to give her some money. She was trying to help out the best way she could. Would y'all believe me if I told y'all that this goofball ass, punk ass security guard told this lady, who's old enough to be his grandmother, because he was like, you know, for a minute he was just saying, no, we're not gonna make an incident out of this. Would you believe me if I told y'all this punk motherfucker told this old ass lady, old enough to be my grandmother probably, and I'm 38. This nigga didn't look a day over 25. He told that lady to buy your things, to buy your things and leave. Oh, that made Babushka feel some type of way. She really got, that's when she got hot. Cause it's like, you already fucking her over. I see that. That's making me mad in of itself because you don't treat people like that. That's what she was saying. Then she directed towards him and was like, you don't talk to me. She was like, you don't talk to me like that. Don't you talk to me like that. And then to top that off, to make it goofy, right, there was this dude, right, because the line was just building up. So there was already one dude in there, you know, with this lady. The cashier was the lady. But there was another dude who could have easily gotten on the on the cash register rather, and rang some people up. And it was like by the time the incident had already finished, because at the end they finally decided, like the cashier just said fucking and decided to give her a change back. Because I'm like, yeah, bro, people, I mean, it's real out here. People ain't bullshit. Hell, I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm kind of fucked up in the game. I ain't down. I mean, I'm down, but I ain't out. I mean, I consider myself lucky that I do have enough money to go get something from McDonald's. I mean, and it ain't because I'm just starving. And I mean, I got a whole refrigerator full. I just don't feel like cooking. I got a fridge and a fridge and freezer full of food. I don't want to warm nothing up. I mean, that's what I was saying from now on. But I see that, you know, I'm spending way too much money going to Wendy's, going to McDonald's. So I'm like, no, I'm going to have to start getting back to making my own burgers and my own chicken sandwiches and making my own french fries when I want to eat sloppy. I mean, if I'm going to eat sloppy, at least do it on your own dime with your own money instead of making these motherfuckers rich. But I'm doing that tonight. But so yeah, man, it was some real bullshit. And then on top of that, here's what's gonna trip y'all out, like, because y'all probably know the culture of places like Dollar Tree. So after the incident, then not one, two more employees came out of this little booth that they be in. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about, this little office. Two jokers came out, and one of them got on the cash register and said, I can take who's next. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. You've been there this whole time, I mean, and had this whole incident pop off, and you just now deciding to get on this cash register, because I was ready to go. I didn't want to sit around and look at the, I mean, shit, if I want some theatrics, I'll go to the motherfucking movies. But these are the kind of situations that you will just walk into in a goofy ass city like this, bro. Just crazy shit. And shit that would make anybody mad. Because I'm like, you ain't got no business treating that woman like that. And two, you ain't got no business talking to the other lady like that. A woman old enough to be your grandmother. You over here talking to, mind you, a customer. A customer. And he probably ain't got to worry about that because he works for a security company. But did it ever dawn on your dumb ass? Did it ever dawn on your dumb ass, young nigga, that the last thing anybody in corporate wants to hear is complaints of being disrespectful and being rude to the customer? You don't tell paying customers. Let me tell you, Colorado nigga, something. You don't tell paying customers, people patronizing your business, to buy their things and get out or leave. Whatever it was he said, I don't remember, but it was one or the other. And believe me, whichever one it was, because I think he did say get your things out. I mean, just buy your things and leave. Still, whether it was get your things and leave, get your things and get out. One ain't no better than the other. You don't talk to the customer like that, dude. She was right. She was in the right. You was in the wrong. You tried to do that lady fucked up, and you did her fucked up. You talked to her fucked up. You don't talk to people like that. You don't talk to people patronizing your business like that. You don't do people like that, Colorado. What the fuck is wrong with you Colorado niggas? What, you got such goofy standards that up until this day, that's just what y'all held each other on some South Park shit? Because before I go in here, let me tell y'all something. So that we can branch off of it in the next video. If you ever want to figure out what Colorado is like, all you got to do, for all you people who probably wondered what Colorado is like before you ever came here, or if you ever do come here, if you're trying to figure out, because it's not a lot of publicity on Colorado. I know the rest of the country don't know Colorado like that. But if you ever want to get a good glimpse, an accurate, I dare say 100% accurate description of Colorado, you need nothing more than South Park. Just watch that anime series South Park. The makers of that, who ironically enough are from Colorado themselves, they not lying on these people. Because it's been years since I watched South Park. I mean, I used to watch it back when I was in Tennessee, but now I'm in Colorado, and it never dawned on me. Because I was like, what the fuck, with the goofy experiences that I've had with these goofy ass locals, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? What is the deal? And then one day it dawned on me. You want to know what's going on? Watch South Park. See if it sticks. And surely enough, I watched a couple of episodes and I was like, wow. How, the mannerisms alone, the rudeness, the tendencies to just break out and start fighting. I'm like, yes, they are exactly like that. They say, and you know what they say. They say art imitates life. Because I'm here to tell y'all that is exactly how these goofballs are. For the most part. I ain't going to sit up here and say every last one of them was like that. But for the most part, yes. That's exactly how they are here in Colorado. So I'm finna go and get some food, and I'll be out in a minute so we can make part 2 as far as so I can basically shit on Denver society even more, if not Colorado as a whole, because these folks are with the shit, bro. They don't make no sense. So y'all look out for part 2. All right.